Me to talk about that due process and respecting the law. We have Carlos Scott. He's a veteran publicist and media crisis expert. Carlos, always a pleasure. Welcome back to BNC Live, sir. So talk about this. Injustice. Injustice for whom?
It's hard for me to keep a straight face while I'm trying to do this segment with you, Tashani.
Keep it real.
The injustice, if we're just going to keep it all the way real, Sha'Carri Richardson, if this girl was allowed to compete after she's now won a gold already, she tested positive in December. Let's backtrack. She tested positive December 25th. What a Christmas present, right, for her. Her Christmas present clearly is that they were going to try to keep this under the waters and not let anyone know in the public that this young lady had tested positive. Now, it wasn't until after her and the Russian team already won the first gold that it was then leaked. Once it then became leaked, then that's when they took it to CAS. And unfortunately, I've had clients that have had to go before CAS, which is an organization that that votes on these matters. Okay, they're the Court of Arbitration of Sport, and they came up with something that I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I've never heard in my life, and that is because she is a minor, there are different rules that apply to her as opposed to adult competitors.
Yeah.
Tashani, I don't even know where to start with that. I've never heard of that in my life. And, as you know, whether it's the skaters, whether it's the gymnasts, you name it, all of them, a lot of them are teenagers. And I just can't see if she was a black woman of any country, whether it's America, Jamaica, whatever, I just can't see them using that as an excuse. And then to make it all worse, she supposedly mistakenly took her grandfather's medicine. And I'm really trying to keep from laughing because that is beyond disrespectful and laughable.
Yeah, I mean, considering the fact that Russia has been known to be involved with things like this doping, I mean, sounds like some are not surprised by this. I guess they're more so surprised by the AOC's decision, which they actually came out this week and said there'd be no medal ceremony if the teen skater places in the top 3 this week. I mean, what message are they sending? I actually saw her performance this weekend, and she was phenomenal, to say the least.
I mean, she's the number one in the world. I mean, it's not. She's 15, but she's the number one. Her and her teammate are 1 and 2 in the world. So this not. We're not, trying to poo-poo on her talent. She is what she is. But if we're going to call this and be fair, if this young lady, Sha'Carri Richardson, wasn't allowed because she took a banned substance, a banned substance is a banned substance. It doesn't matter if it's weed, if it's Geritol, if it's Viagra. It doesn't matter what it is. And so my thing is, why did they all of a sudden now come out with this almost like the big joker, if you will? And it's like, oh well, you know what? There's a caveat because she's a minor. And then the gentleman from the IOC who you were just speaking of, he said during the press conference that clearly teenagers this young don't do something like that on their own. My son turned 16 this Friday, okay? There's nothing I wouldn't put past my own soon to be 16-year-old son when I'm not watching. Okay? So this is beyond the pale. This is racism and any other kind of ism, favoritism. But then you have to look at the Russian body. I mean, they're not even competing under Russia. They're under some sort of like Children of Russia or something like that. I mean, they're not even competing under the Russian flag because of doping.
Exactly. I was just about to point that out. So, I mean, it sounds like you agree with Sha'Carri Richardson's point. I mean, that this is a double standard. I want to ask you a question, Carlos. You represent an Olympian. Tell everyone her name and how is she responding? How are they responding to this?
It's I've had some interesting, text messages from male and female, clients that are Olympians, and we're all into the same pretty much agreement that this is just favoritism, and and it might even go beyond, just to be perfectly honest, just because we know how Russia operates. It could go beyond just racism to some money transpired here. I mean, some money changed hands here, because we know that in past, look at what happened with FIFA. You know, that was millions and millions of dollars that went to there, as well as what happened with Doha, with the another game. So it's one of the most corrupt sports, to be perfectly honest, that people don't like for you to say publicly, but everyone knows that it is.
Well, let's talk about the Namibia sprinters, right? They got banned from events due to a natural high testosterone level. When you think about what's happening right now, right? This Russian figure skater, what happened with Shikari, is it fair to say that, I mean, the treatment's not the same across the board?
If you have a high dose of melanin, that beautiful melanin, which you and I are both blessed with, there's a high probability of you being disqualified. I don't know if you heard, but there was also some talk of suspending. I think it was the Jamaicans, because of their outfits. I mean, where do they get this stuff? I don't understand.
So how are you prepping your
For outfit.
clients, Carlos? How are you preparing them in the event
Um,
that they are faced with this type of backlash?
well, it's never anything that you want to prepare for, to be perfectly honest. The best preparation is to not do anything. And that's the best preparation that we've always. Don't take anything that you're not supposed to. Don't be anywhere you're not supposed to. And more importantly, don't say or do anything that you're not supposed to. In the event that you find yourself in a compromising position like that, obviously that's what you have. A PR team is agent, and sometimes we have to get lawyers involved. And but it's just sad that we have to go through all this, and it's at the height of their career. I mean, the Olympics is the biggest game in the world, and for this young lady at 15 to be already the number one in the world, and have to take, I mean, and that's a heart, I don't understand, that's a heart medication as well. So I'm just really confused as to why she would take it. I want to do some more research on that, but there has to be some sort of benefit if she took it,
Well,
and
apparently
I
it's for
doubt very
endurance.
seriously. Well, that's one of the things, and then sometimes there's a certain medication that you can take for focus. That's what was happening with some of the guys in baseball, is that it was doing something to their glands, where it helped them to actually focus in on that ball better.
All right, Carlos Scott, always a pleasure. Thanks for your expertise, sir. When being